Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi all set to embark on a trip to Europe. He will visit 3 countries, Germany, Denmark and France, and the 3-day trip will begin on the 2nd of May.
The Minister will be leaving on a visit to Europe from tomorrow. He will be travelling to Germany, Denmark and France for bilateral as well as multilateral engagements. Prime Minister's 3-day, 3-nation tour has intense schedule with substantial and comprehensive agenda, including wide-ranging interaction with the political leadership of these countries, Indian diaspora, and the top industrialists and CEOs.
This will be Indian Prime Minister's first visit abroad in the year 2022. The first stop, Berlin, where Prime Minister Modi will hold bilateral talks with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. The 2 leaders will also co-chair the 6th edition of the India-Germany Intergovernmental Consultations. Several other ministers from both sides will also participate in high-level talks. Prime Minister Modi will also interact with the Indian diaspora in Germany. Next stop will then be Copenhagen, where Prime Minister of Denmark has invited Prime Minister Modi. He will participate in the 2nd India-Nordic Summit hosted by Denmark. Prime Minister Modi will also interact with other Nordic leaders, including Prime Ministers of Iceland, Norway, Sweden and Finland. He will also attend an India-Denmark Business Forum. Prime Minister Modi will then meet the Indian community in Denmark. The summit will focus on issues of common interest like the post-pandemic economic recovery, climate change, renewable energy, evolving global security scenario, innovation and technology, and India-Nordic cooperation in the Arctic. Last but not the least, Prime Minister will also make a brief stopover in Paris. He will meet French President Emmanuel Macron, who, as you know, was recently elected for a 2nd term. India and France also complete 75 years of diplomatic cooperation this year. Moving on now, for more on this, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is joining us live from Berlin on this. Thank you for joining us, Siddhant. It's a 3-day tour which will include talks with 8 world leaders among 25 engagements. The Indian Prime Minister has a packed schedule, to say the least. Could you please take us through the key areas of focus and discussions here?
Well, there are many firsts to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Europe. This is his first foreign visit this year. This is his first visit to Europe since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. His first in-person meeting with the new German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and also his first meeting with President Macron since his election victory last month. So many firsts, but of course issues that will dominate will be like clean technology, defense, partnership, but above all the visit happening in the shadow of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and that nonetheless will be dominating the agenda, with the European side giving their own perspective, the Indian side giving their own perspective. And remember, just a short while ago in Delhi, the Indian Foreign Secretary, the new Indian Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra, when he briefed the press on the visit, there were several questions on how much the Russian invasion of Ukraine will be dominating the agenda, to which he pointed out the Indian stance that India would like to see a cessation of violence between Ukraine and Russia. But nonetheless, when it comes to this visit, India's focus will be to increase its bilateral partnership with both Berlin and with Paris, and also the 5 Nordic countries as part of the India-Nordic Summit, the 2nd India-Nordic Summit. The Prime Minister engages with 5 leaders of the Nordic or the Northern European countries, and these countries are world leader when it comes to renewables, clean technology, and that remains the focus area. In fact, the green partnership will be the emphasis of this this visit to Copenhagen. The first such summit took place in 2018, in April of 2018 in Stockholm, and since then there have been number of engagements, including number of virtual summits of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi with his Nordic counterparts.
Absolutely, Siddhant. In fact, I was just going to come to that we know that this tour comes in the backdrop of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Now, we know energy dependence is a big area of discussion as well. What sort of discussions can we expect on the same?
Well, there are two aspects to it. The current situation, we know that Europe has been saying that India needs to not import energy from Russia, but it's Europe which is importing Russia, which is importing the Russian energy, Russian oil, Russian gas. And India has, in fact, pointed out many times publicly, in fact, the famous comments by the Indian foreign minister in Washington about how much India imports and how much Europe imports is something that is still referred to. But largely, the focus is also to see the future in terms of reducing dependency on fossil fuels. So when it comes to the Nordic countries, that will be the focus area, because they are, as I've said, that world leaders when it comes to clean technology and energy. And India would like to have those clean technology and energy that, of course, has less impact on the climate. But, of course, the shocking developments of February, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, is something that will be discussed at length. We know the president of France, Macron, has been taking a major lead in terms of making sure that President Putin and President Zelensky sit on the table. We know the role played by the German Chancellor, the new German Chancellor as well. But nothing, in fact, has made any impact in terms of the Russian president changing his mind. So things stand on where they stand, but what focus will be to how India and Europe can be on the same page on this very crucial issue.
Right. All right, Siddhant, thank you so much for bringing us all the latest on this from Berlin. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.